Are you getting the feeling that that's quite a groundswell across various religious faiths?
Absolutely. The Andrew Thorburn issue, which occurred 2 weeks ago when Essendon sacked him after 23 hours in the job, simply because he was on the board of a church that expressed orthodox Christian views on marriage and the pro-life position, that has sent shockwaves through the Family First base. It sent shockwaves through the Christian and Muslim communities, as evidenced by the comments in the paper today. But we're picking this up on the ground as well. I've spoken to the head of the Imam's board here in Victoria, and he said their people are sick of being required to go to diversity training where they're taught things, to use his words, that are against their religion. And so people are sitting in workplaces surrounded by colleagues with rainbow lanyards and email signature blocks with all sorts of incredible pronouns like ze, they, his, her, whatever. And people are feeling afraid because of their religious and mainstream beliefs.
Oh, Lyle, some of these people came to Australia because we're a free country and they see this kind of stuff. They must think we're bonkers. Just getting back, though, to Dan Andrews' record, the defining element of his most recent term, his current term, is, of course, the lockdown. Now, it seems obvious now that the lockdowns were unnecessary. The virus wasn't as lethal as we were told, and the vaccines were not as effective as we were told. Andrews isn't alone, but he was certainly the most enthusiastic and authoritarian about following this narrative. What are the odds of him making some sort of mea culpa during this election campaign?
I think the odds of that, Fred, are about the same as Xi Jinping making a mea culpa. I mean, Dan Andrews, he took his playbook right out of the CCP's handbook. And look, Family First believes there needs to be a royal commission into what has gone on so that there can be a reckoning and that we learn the lesson so that this never happens again.
Well, as I've said a couple of times before, a Royal Commission is just the start. I think we need criminal trials. Not that Dan Andrews has broken any laws that we know of yet, but certainly there needs to be some sort of recompense in the future. Now, finally, before you go, Lyle, in a new book, Australian musician Nick Cave, I'm sure you've got all his albums, has described Christianity and conservatism as being at the heart of his creativity. Did you ever think you'd be in the same camp as Nick Cave, Lyle?
No, I didn't, Fred. I mean, I appreciate his music, but it's rich with biblical lyrics. The guy obviously reads the Bible deeply, and this was said in the article that you referenced in The Australian. But you look at songs like Mercy Seat, deeply theological concepts. Into Your Arms talks about an interventionist God, and he sort of melds obviously his love and romance songs with the spiritual and the transcendent. And he talks about the transcendent and says how much that Jesus Christ and the Bible have influenced his life and that he is a conservative. So that's a big admission.
Well, we're the new rebels, Lyle, and we're the more, the left always talks about diversity, but if I'm in the same camp as you and Nick Cave, I think we've got diversity covered, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I think it just goes to show, the left, they just assume that the arts community is on their side and that we're all, that you and I are somehow weirdos or whatever. But it's not the case. And people do have diverse views. And it's great to see someone from the entertainment industry out and proud as a conservative.